that's what
man.
happened. He got hit so hard it disconnected his damn video.
You got hit that hard, huh?
You got hit that hard. He
I guess I
disconnected
got
you in
hit
the
that
future. Welcome to the launch of the very first Athlete Plus podcast. I'm your host, Coach Cory Besch, with ATHLYT co-founder and chief brand officer Ray Austin. Ray, how you doing today, brother?
Man, I am good. I'm excited. This is our first time together. We are starting a culture right now, right in front of your face, man. So I'm excited about it.
We're going to get into a lot of things today, but we're going to start by talking about our baby, the ATHLYT platform, and just tell a little bit of to the people out there about what we do at ATHLYT and introduce this company that you co-founded.
Yeah, I'm a former athlete myself. University of Tennessee. Played back in the '90s. I'll tell you how old I am, but was a team captain with Peyton Manning back in the '90s, and drafted to Chicago Bears and played with the New York Jets, and always had the passion of athletes in my life. Right when I retired, I became a strength trainer and opened up my own gym and trained over 2,500 athletes in the Chicagoland area. Love training athletes, man. That's some of the best times watching and seeing an athlete kind of grow into themselves. So that was my first business, helping out athletes. But then I also got into the entertainment industry too. So I've been an actor and a model for about 18 years. And loved it and wanted to help athletes get into the same field. So I opened up a sports talent agency called Team Inc. And at that time, the NIL didn't exist, Cory. So I had to go out and find athletes that could actually be athletes in commercials. And so it was fun, man. I'd end up working with former athletes that played back in their day, and just was exciting to see I was able to help athletes do something after football, or after their sport that they were doing. And currently now I'm the co-founder commissioner of Fan Control Football. I got into the tech space and really excited about it. It's been extraordinary being able to, stay relevant, not only in sports, but also technology and innovation. And still acting, I run into this guy. His name is Brian Jagger. You might know the kid. He's also one of the co-founders here. But he was a casting director, and he was just like, hey, man, we started talking about fan control football and all that. And all I kept saying was like, more than athletes. I was just always talking about how much I love my athletes. And Brian was like, man, we should do something together, and I was just like, okay, what is that? If it involves athletes, I'm with it. And, at that time, that's when the NIL space happened. And, I knew what was going to happen as soon as it happened. They were, the space was going to focus on the top 1-2%, the elite athletes. And again, for me, that was tough to see because, when it comes to championships, Cory, it takes a whole team to win a championship, from the walk on all the way to the starting quarterback, right? And so everybody should have those type of opportunities. So Brian and I were sitting back talking, and we just started rallying our heads around like, how can we help everybody? And with his genius of understanding technology and how we could actually work with all athletes, and it was just like, we could help out the 98%. We can help out the whole locker room, so that's where ATHLYT really started. And we wanted to put a marketplace out there for our athletes where we could help athletes get paid but in scale. You know what I'm saying? So instead of one guy on the football team making compensation, we want the whole entire team to make compensation. So that became the heartbeat of ATHLYT.
Sure. Well, I appreciate that, Ray, and it's always great to hear the story of where everyone comes from, where the company came from, because like you mentioned earlier, NIL is a new idea. When you're on the forefront of an industry, right? You're kind of paving your own way, and that's what ATHLYT is as a company. For a little bit of background on myself, I'm the scholastic coordinator here at ATHLYT, and I work directly underneath you and have learned a lot from you and everything that you do, and in describing ATHLYT as a platform
Mm.
to athletes and to the community and to the population as a whole. I like to tell people that at ATHLYT, other than just being an NIL marketplace, we really stand for four foundational aspects.
That's right.
Uh, we stand for the culture of an athlete. We stand for the opportunities that the NIL market is going to bring. We stand for information and education so that athletes are on that cutting edge of this NIL market. And we stand for networking,
Yep.
leveraging those relationships, like you said you had with Brian Jagger in a casting meeting, or on a set somewhere. Those types of relationships we know are
Yeah.
the key to success in professional life after competitive sports. And so, in the NIL marketplace, and what is NIL? It's really just building your brand, your
Yeah.
business based on your own identity.
Yeah,
And
and
for
that's what we
athletes,
wanted to do, Cory. We wanted, as a group, we wanted to create this, this community. And what is that community? You got to start with culture first, right? What do we always talk about as athletes? Every time I run into one of my former teammates, what they always say, man, what do you miss from playing football? It ain't running around and catching footballs and tackling and all that. That's not what I miss. I miss the community, the culture, the
yeah,
locker room, my boys, my,
yeah,
going to practice, winning that game and celebrating afterwards. Like, we want to create that type of culture where all of our athletes that come here, they all feel safe. They feel like this is a place where they can show who they are, show what they do, and be who they really are. Not just the athlete himself, but also that other thing that they're able to do as well.
yeah. I mean, I think as a coach, current coach, and I've been a coach for 10 plus years after I finished playing sports in college. But then, even as a member of a team, there's something about the inclusivity, right? When
Yeah.
you become a member that says, I stand for something more than myself. You heard it said in that cliche, play for the name on the front of your chest, not on the back. That's really what we do at ATHLYT. And whether it's the environment in the office with the team around us, the people
Yeah.
who are helping get those athletes those opportunities, or the athletes themselves, that's the culture that ATHLYT represents.
And that's what
So
we
that
want. We from diversity to, we said, one of the heartbeat that we wanted to focus on with ATHLYT first was the 98%, right? So if you're going to start with the 98%, where does that start? That's HBCU schools, and that's female sports. And so we have a real true focus on that, because the culture of sports is all the way up to D1, all the way up to down to NIA. They're all the same.
yeah,
We're all a moment away from being great, at that sport. I've seen kids from D3 schools, HBCU schools, still make it into the NFL. And so,
100%.
that's the type of culture that we want. We want people to feel safe here, sharing your content, sharing your highlights, sharing your celebrations, sharing your wins and your losses. That, so we can all talk about them. But that is the number one pillar when it comes to ATHLYT here.
And that leads us right into our second pillar, which is opportunity. And everyone thinks of NIL as a money making opportunity, which it is, and which our platform is built off of. We're obviously built off those NIL deals, and getting that compensation back into the hands of the athletes, the rightful owners. But we're also providing opportunities to help these athletes build their brands, build
Mhm.
their business, build their understanding of what it takes, and shout them out, man. I know, I work with one of our best, MVPs is up on my board, but our boy Sailor, who loves to shout out these athletes and show off everything that they're doing, because it's amazing. It does not matter whether you're at an NAI school, a Division 2, 3 school in the middle of nowhere. Man, we love to show off those skills and everything that you guys do as athletes. So those opportunities that we provide on our platform aren't just monetary, but it's
Yeah.
so much more than that. Do you have anything to say about those
Man,
opportunities?
look. I say this. I'm gonna say this to you right now. Every athlete listening, the longer you are on a shelf of an athlete, once that's over, it's over, right? You're in college right now, and you have 4 years to create a huge audience, network, fans, however you name it. I wish back in the 90s that they had the type of social media and the type of engagement that I could have with fans. I played at the University of Tennessee, Cory. We had over 110,000 people screaming at you, right?
Yeah.
How awesome would it be if I was able to take that whole network, which I can now, and I've absolutely tapped into the alumni, but when I was there taking advantage of all the opportunities and the people that I could have met through social media and like, growing my engagement. Right now, these athletes have the ability to do that. They look, athletes have the highest engagement rate coming from anybody in social media. You believe it or not, you are a star. You are a superstar, regardless on what level it is, and you got to take advantage of that. I wish I would have had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And how do we get those opportunities? It's through our information platform.
Yep.
Athlete, and you could really touch on this because you've been in some really exciting conversations with some people that are in this industry and the leaders of this industry. So do you want to touch on that
Yeah.
information
You know what?
pillar?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna just go back to the opportunity for a second, though.
sure.
When it's crazy, man. Like, or you think about, you know, the world gives athletes all this money, millions and millions of dollars, or what, not even thinking of the pro levels, still hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on what sport you're in. But where is the financial education or the financial literacy, helping those athletes with that? I think the NIL is such an awesome deal right now because I think it'll impact all young people to really understand how to manage their money, right? Because they're going to be able to do it. They're able to get compensated right now. So their future is could very well, they could be in a whole different place. I remember when I got out of college. I don't know if back in the day they had credit cards, the credit card booths that was there, and then everybody had credit card. I had like 3 or 4 of them credit cards, and instead of getting out of college and having benefits and compensation and savings afterwards, I had debt and bad
Yeah.
credit. I'm gonna be in the NFL. I'm in the NFL. I got bad credit. What did that was like? That don't even make sense.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough financial literacy and enough financial education to have to help these athletes. So when we've seen that in this and how the NIL is kind of gone, and we've, as a group, we was like, hey, we can't do that, man. You can't send an athlete, you can't send a football player out on a game and not they haven't learned a playbook. Because
Yeah.
what's
There's no game plan.
there's no
How
game
you
plan.
gonna attack a game with no game plan?
Come
Yeah.
on, right? So how you gonna know
Yeah.
if you don't know your playbook? How are you gonna be successful on the field? So
For
we
sure.
decided to partner with some. I would love to say the names right now, but one of the
Don't do it.
number one, yeah, one of the number one financial institutions in the world, and one of the number one educational pieces, programs in the world to offer up our athletes education and financial literacy. So as we give you the opportunities with ATHLYT, we then help you understand, manage, and be able to save that. So regardless if you are a soccer player, and with a few $1,000s on these campaigns, or you make it into the NFL, we want to still make sure that we take care of you financial literacy wise and as well as education wise.
100%. And then that ties into that information aspect. And then the final part, and we touched on it a little bit earlier, is the network.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've got your hands in so many things, and you're leading the Fan Control Football League as a commissioner, and they're growing into the Sports Entertainment League because they're doing more than just football, which is, hats off to you and everything you do there. But it's amazing to see the deals that we can get our athletes just based on the relationships that we have. I know,
Yeah.
I could speak from experience. We put our athletes on billboards in Times
Yeah.
Square,
That's
right?
right.
We put them in commercials and modeling. We put them in movies and television shows. So those types of things don't come around on every platform, and an athlete is unique in that. And is there anything else you want to say about that network? You're the one with the biggest network of them all. So
Listen, and I think that was when people ask me about the NFL, like, man, what did you get out of the NFL besides two bad knees? Uh, I would say my network. And my network, my college network, my teammates there have been very been helpful not only in the FCF but also with ATHLYT. Like the amount of being able to pick up the phone and being able to call someone to help you further your dream or idea, that's your network. And athletes have the ability to have the biggest network. Everybody wants to be around an athlete, and most people want to hire. Every company that I talk to, they always ask me, do you guys have any guys that we could hire? Because why? They know how athletes are. We know how to win and lose. We know how to work in teamwork. We know how to go for a goal. Those are the type of things that the world or corporate companies look for. And so what we're wanting to do is create literally a sports LinkedIn with all. I want my friends, I want Cory's friends, I want all your friends, I want your alumni, I want the Tennessee alumni, all in our platform. So we are all discussing opportunities, job offers, anything that can further your career. Because I say this all the time, your sport may only last for 4 years. Most of us, right? In college, so if you're lucky to get to college, you get a blessing to do your sport for 4 more years. But if you're blessed to even play after that, you're even blessed even more. But guess what? I retired. I was 32 years old. I'm still young. I'm still a young
Yeah,
whippersnapper. I still had some, I still had some runway. But then I had to
sure.
figure out what I was able to do, and the only way I was able to do that was I had to tap back into my network, and that was gave me the opportunities to come up with other ideas and other ways to further my career. So we want to focus on we those are when you think of athlete, we want you to think about the coin. Period. The culture that we create, the opportunities that we have here, the education that we're going to give you, and the network that you're going to get from all of this. That's what we're here to do for athletes.
100%. I couldn't have said it better, Ray. I appreciate you, breaking that down, and everything that we talk about on this podcast, this episode, future episodes with our guests really go back to that foundation, to that coin, that culture, opportunity, information, and network, and that leads us, into our first and our first highlighted guest of this launch episode of the ATHLYT Plus podcast. Someone that I have had a pleasure of meeting, and I wish he was a little closer so I could get him in a race, but I'm really excited to bring our first guest onto this platform today. He is the fastest guy I've seen on the screen. I would love to see it in person. He is a track sprinter, was formerly at Auburn University, and is now a member of the Grambling State University track team. I'd like to give a round of applause and a warm welcome to Dante Brown. Dante, how are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great, man. Glad to have you a part of this podcast. Thank you so much for being here, man. We're excited to have you here. Um, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do and what makes you so special and part of the ATHLYT platform.
Okay. And before I get into that, I just want to say thanks for having me. It's really an honor.
Oh man,
Okay,
we
welcome,
appreciate
brother.
it. We appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you guys. So, for the ones that don't know me, who's out there listening, I'm Dante Brown. I'm a transfer from Auburn University. I'm a short sprinter. I specialize in a 60-meter dash, 100-meter dash, 200, and I also participate in the relays. So before I got to Grambling, I was previously at Auburn, and before I got to Auburn, I was at an NAIA William Carey down there in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Oh
And
wow,
I
okay.
just brought that. I was listening to you guys backstage, and I love what you guys said. It doesn't matter, where you are, and I love the opportunity that you're creating, especially for the lower level schools. So, at William Carey, I won the 60-meter dash and the 200-meter dash my sophomore year, and that's of course when COVID hit. So
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have an outdoor. Then I at the Auburn, went in my first year, and I won the 60-meter dash indoor my first year there. And now I work my way up to Grambling. So I kind of been like on every stage, NAIA, SEC, and now I'm here at the SWAC. So
Hey, you ran in the SEC, so I know you got some lightning bolts underneath them feet. So that's what's up.
hey, thank you.
Hey Dante, I got a question for you, brother. So I went to an NAIA school growing up, and for my first, actually I went to a community college to play football first. I didn't know I was even going to play ball after high school, and they got a chance to play at an NAIA. And my brother currently plays at a Division I school. Is there anything, you know, different? I'm not a track star, so I'm fast, but not that fast. I'm more, you know, quick than fast. But what's the difference? What's your experience been like at those different levels of competition? And as I know, from my perspective, that, you know, some of those life lessons that you learn from playing a sport are
Yeah.
learned at all levels. Is that something that you've experienced as well, or what has that experience been like? Seeing the level of competition from the SEC all the way down to the NAIA level.
To be honest, that's one thing that separates track from a lot of sports, and really every sport. The thing about track and field is no matter where you at, if you fast, you know you fast, and
Right.
anybody. So the competition was always there. Like, man, in NAIA, we had guys running 10-2. I was running 10-3 myself, and that's pretty fast. I think 10-2 won the championship. But the competition is a little more stiff in the SEC. Because every week you're running against the best of the best, you know, compared to NAIA. The only time you'll see your best competition is probably at the championship meet. But like SEC, man, we run Kentucky, Florida, Arkansas, Georgia, and we going against these guys every week. So I will say that the competition.
How you gonna leave out Tennessee? How you gonna leave out Tennessee?
I'm sorry. Oh yeah.
Hey, he doesn't want to tell you the truth, Ray, but they slow over there, brother.
Ooh. Okay.
Hey, let's go balls. Yeah, Tennessee.
There you
look, so it's the best of this every week. So I would say the difference is you get to see more competition. You know, like I said, at the lower level, you know, you really don't see the best of the best until it's really time to show up, and it's the championship meet. But I feel like it's better when you're in the SEC and, you know, even the Big Ten or whatnot, because you get to face your competition, so you'll know what to expect. You know, so you won't be kind of caught off, you know, guard. But like I said, the competition is still very high, you know, all around. Like I said, I've been on the NAIA level, and those guys can roll. So, you know, it's not to take nothing away from them, but, you know, everyone wants to compete SEC because not only the name, but, you know, more money, bigger facilities, you know, better resources. All those things play a part, you know. So there's really,
and that's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting you said that, because, you know, there had to be what you saw when you woke up had to be different from waking up at an Auburn campus and Grambling State, right? Like, there's a difference, right? There, and I think that's what comes with the opportunities. It's like it's already swayed against you, right? Already, right? And everybody should get those same type of opportunities.
Right. And I love that you mentioned it. And that's another thing. And when I got recruited, that's the first thing my coach mentioned. He said, you know, before we even carry on with the scholarship and all that, I just want to let you know the situation that we in Grambling. You know, of course, you coming from a Power 5 school. We don't have as much money. We don't have many resources, facility. And I admire him for that, you know, because a lot of people can sell you a dream, but, you know, he was straightforward with me. And I already knew what I was getting myself into, but it just made me more comfortable knowing that, okay, you know, he's a real guy. You know, he's coming to me, telling me straightforward, you know, it's not going to be real green over here. You know, the grass isn't always green on the other side. But one thing about that is I feel like when you have to get it out the mud, it just makes you better. And by me coming from, by me coming Auburn and, you know, having all those resources and, you know, one of the best facilities in the SEC, it just makes me work even harder because I know where I was and I know where I am now, but I know where I want to get. So it just encouraged me to work even harder, you know, just because they have the tracks, or, you know, like Kentucky had an indoor track, LSU. We not, you know, capable of having it right now, you know, but I still want to be one of the people that can come in and put our school on the map. So later on, a couple of years from now, the track team will be known, you know, so they'll want to go and get the guys and the women indoor track, you know. So I'm really just trying to pave the way, not, you know, for me, but for the generation that's to come, you know, and make a change.
Love that, man. I love that. And now you know, you've gone and transitioned from school to school to school. I know you've gotten experiences from that, but what is your ultimate goal? Of course, I would assume it's the Olympics, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So my ultimate goal is to get a contract. Actually, before
Okay.
the coronavirus in 2020, I got invited to the Olympics, to try out. Of course, you have to make the team. And they had a newscast and all that. You can look it up. But I had got invited to come and participate at the Olympic trials. And COVID really was just a downfall for me, because what happened was when COVID happened, and it's not just for me, but, it took a toll on everybody.
A
It's
lot of
like,
athletes. Yeah.
right.
I got a
And what
story
messed
too.
was I wasn't in tune with the sport anymore, because I just felt like, man, I worked so hard to get to this point, and it's like it's just taken away. But I had to, take a step back and realize, well, Dante, it's not just affecting you. Everyone going through it. But I know it's all about what you make of it. So when I started back running, I fell right back in love. It's like I never lost it. So I think I just needed that time off, to regroup. But when I started back running, I was like, man, I didn't realize how much I missed track. So my ultimate goal is, of course, get a contract. And a lot of people always ask me that, but I try not to think too much of it. I just say, I'm gonna handle my part. And if that's what God wants me to do, I know he'll bless me with the opportunity as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So that's really where I'm at with that. But of course, if the opportunity presents itself and the money is right, then, hey, yeah.
Hey, I just want to commend you, brother, because I've been a coach for 10 plus years. You're working with a younger generation. Like I said, my brother's probably about your age. He plays football at Boise State. And you mentioned COVID being something it really like knocked you out, right? And it took you off of your game. And I think as a coach, whether you're coaching in a small scale and looking at a time in a small scale, whether it's a season or you're looking at your entire career, your entire college career, your entire sporting career, there are always going to be those types of moments, right? It's never going to be a worldwide pandemic, right? But the way that you took that, and reset yourself to find your passion for running again, is a way that I think that all athletes and individuals as a whole can kind of change the narrative on those negative things that happen to you, right? Whether that's a bad call in a game, or something happens in a track event, or you false start and get DQ'd from a race that was huge. How do you respond to those types of situations that really dictate who you're going to be later in life? And like Ray said in the introduction, those athletes that can get through that can be resilient, that can show those types of characteristics, are the ones who are successful in whatever they do and choose to do professionally, or are the ones that are going to want to be hired by these companies because they've proven it, right? That everyone's going to go through those situations, but it's the ones who keep that positive outlook, that optimistic point of view, just like yourself. So man, hats off to you, brother, and keep going. I'm gonna be rooting you on from here, man. But it kind of leads us into our next segment, and I want to ask you a couple more questions and dive a little more into your personal, what makes Dante Dante. And we call this segment the Athlete Plus More Than an Athlete segment. So it's kind of about your story and who kind of guided you into this person who sees things this way, who is this positive, who can be resilient. We've asked you, what's your why? We have this saying at Athlete, what's your why? What's your motivation and purpose, your driving factor? So, what makes Dante more than an athlete? I know you got a big following on social media, and you're one of the most engaged athletes on our platform with a pretty good following, and that's because you're just a cool dude, man. If I can say it myself, but what makes you tick, man? What makes you who you are? Yeah, appreciate
it. First of all, I just want to say thank you, for that, and I love that question, and it's always been hard for me to answer. What is my why? And the reason is because I never want to single, people out. Because it's so many people in my life, who play a factor in what I do. But I always have to give a special shout out to my mom. And I would say my mom is my biggest motivation in life. And the reason why is because when I was younger, I watched my mom overcome so many things, and I just watched her make something out of nothing, man. Like, it was times where she went without so we can have. And when I say we, I mean, my sisters and I have 3 younger sisters. I'm the oldest. And, just seeing my mama struggle at a young age, and it was only so much that I can do, because I was young, couldn't get a job, but now that's different. But when I got a chance to actually make money and help my mother out, it really just changed me. And she's the reason why I do everything that I do. And I tell anybody, it's not even for me. I can care less about how I'm doing. It's for my mom, and I just want to get to a point in life where I can take care of her. She has a food business, so I know you probably see a lot of food on my page. I get up and promote it every day. So I just want to be able to take care of my mom one day, and she just sacrificed so much, man. And just to see her go without so her kids can have, she's the best mother in the world. And I'm not just saying that because she's my mom, but just knowing her as a person, like she'll do anything for anyone. So my mom has the biggest influence on my life. And like I said, not to die down what other people have done for me, but like I said, no one can top what my mom has done for me. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. She's the reason why I decided to get back in school. I know how much it meant for her to see, her son graduate, and she's going to she's going to support me through it all. But, who doesn't want to see their mom happy? That's my main goal in life. Like I said, I'm really living and doing what I'm doing, not more so for me, but for my mom and also my younger sisters, because I know how much they look up to their older brother. And I just want the best, not only for me, but for them as well. So they're really the reason why I do what I do every day, the reason why I started back running track, the reason why I want to finish school, the reason why I want to be a better me every day. So that's really my why.
Man, bro, what's your degree?
I'm majoring in kinesiology.
Man, okay, all right, man. I hire you in a minute, man. Seriously,
Right.
like we
I try to tell you,
your
Ray.
your perspective. Like I deal with a lot of young athletes, man, and I'm always in their head, man. And you're saying a lot of things that I mean you and I can tell they're concreted in you too, because you can't make that up. So that shouts out to you, man. And I want to add a question to that, because when I have I have the football league, and I probably deal with about 170 guys, and I never talk about their football. So if you ever see me, I probably won't talk about your track. I will always ask you, what else are you working on? What else are you doing and preparing for in the future? Like, when I hear more than the athlete, I focus on what's next for me, right? What's the next opportunity? What is my goal? Do I want to be a singer? Do I want to be an actor? Do I want to be an entrepreneur? Do I have an idea that I want to get patent? What is that thing that you want track to take you to the next level of your life?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. I can answer that. So basically, after track is all said and done, I have a lot of things lined up. One thing that I want to do is I want to be a motivational speaker, and I feel like that'll be perfect for me because I
I
have
can
a
see
lot of
that.
wisdom, and I'm so young, and I just love to motivate people. Like I'm always the person that people come to talk about their problems. Like, and I love that we get personal because I never open up. Like the things that I'm telling you guys, you wouldn't know unless I told you out my mouth. I'm just never open, but
Yeah.
I'm the one who can help people with their problems. So after track is all said and done, of course, after the pro life or whatever, or whatever I have planned, I also want to own like my own AAU team. And I know I won't be able to run track forever. So me start my own track club would be my way of living throughout my kids. You see what I'm saying? So that way I can lead them on the right path. And like you said, a lot of people don't understand it's not all about the sport. You have to develop a closer relationship with your athletes. And I like how you said, you don't just talk about football. You need to get to know your athlete. You need to get to know more about them. And I just feel like their relationship with your athlete will be way better and way more than a sport can ever offer. And that's one thing I want to do. And the last thing I want to do is, like I said, my mom, she has her own food business. We just have a food truck, but we closed the food truck and we're in a building now. So I really just want to help my mother, grow her food business because I have so many followers on Instagram. All I have to do is post, they come out, we sell out. So I really want to just continue to build my platform, like I said, not only for me, but to help my mother as well. Because I know she doesn't use social media like that, but with me having over 16,000 followers, it's going to keep growing. I know I can help, my mom food established, grow, so
Absolutely.
that's really why I'm
Absolutely.
Hey,
moving.
please
You're
tell
a
me.
spokesman. You a spokesman, bro.
Hey, please tell me a little bit more about your mom's restaurant. Let's get her
Please,
up to
I would
12
love
here.
to
I
hear
need to
where is
know.
it
I need to
located
know.
too?
Yeah.
Where is it located?
So we're in my hometown. We're in Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi, and
Okay.
every time I'm back there in Grambling, that's the first thing my athletes. I mean, I said my athlete. I'm talking like a coach already. I'm sorry, but that's
Perfect.
the first thing my team. Because I post the food every day, and they be like, Dante, please get your mom to come down here. So I'm going to work on this. Yeah, we located in North Jackson. Like I
Okay.
said, in my hometown, Jackson, Mississippi, and we've been open for like I want to say like going on 5 months now. We had the food truck. We ended up closing the food truck. God moved us to big and better. So now we in the building. So that's why it's so much food on my page. And like I said, I really just want to help my mom live out her
What's the
dream
name?
because
What's the name of the company? The restaurant?
Southern Cravings. Southern
Southern
Cravings.
Cravings.
So
Okay.
Southern
Yes, sir.
Cravings. Got that.
I
Love
got
that.
some Southern Cravings right
Yeah.
now, brother. Gosh
100.
darn it, man. I'm hungry.
Love that. I love that, man. And
So
you're in
yeah,
the right space too, because that's you are definitely the spokesman for that. And if I were you, I would man, I love that you're so close to it, and start picking up skills of, and you probably already do, editing and photography and videography, and just learning that little stuff, and going, and like you just said, go in there and watch your mom cook, watch a day of her, and post that, man. Be her entourage when you
right.
can, and just tell her, say, hey mom, can you record this and send it to me, and learn how to edit, and help her be that spokesperson like you are, man. That's awesome, bro.
I appreciate you. Thank you for the advice.
That's awesome. Ray, hey, I know you're more than an athlete, Ray. You want to talk a little bit more about the things that make you more than an athlete? Because I mean, we see those jerseys, and not everyone has NFL jerseys hanging in their rafters or on their wall. I wish I got a couple pictures back here, and ain't none of them the NFL jerseys. But
I mean,
I know you do so much more, brother.
I pulled them out. We was gonna have a talk. Decided to pull them out. But nah, man. I after football, it was difficult. Like most guys, once the lights turn off, you try to figure out what's next, and that was a difficult time for me. I've always had a passion for making sure that just like you just said, you want to coach athletes on being better. I want to coach athletes not to say, hey, it's over when the lights are turned off. Find those other things that you're passionate about. So the first thing I jumped into was a sports performance company, trained over 2,500 athletes in the Chicagoland area. 4 of those guys went to the NFL. Just some of the best times of my life. But always had the love of the entertainment industry. So became an actor and a model in Chicago.
Hey,
Probably done over 24 print ads, national print ads, probably about 100 commercials, done shows like Chicago Fire. I play a cop on Chicago Fire, Chicago PD,
Wow.
in Empire. I was Cookie's father on Empire back in the day. So it became a passion of mine, because I took it on just like I did sports. Like, I wanted to do it because it was competitive and I love to win. So it was just always great winning those roles, So, taking that on to, and I was asking this to you, Dante, like, man, what are those things you think about, those ideas? And, I had an idea, 10 years ago, fans running a football league, and didn't know how I was going to make it happen. And ran into some awesome, amazing partners that I have right now. And the 4 of us have been together for 10 years, and we've built an amazing business, and helped out so many people, so many athletes. And I couldn't be more proud of just not just that organization and that company, but just setting out and doing what I knew I could do. And I've my just like you, Dante and Cory, man, I just want to be an example for that. Like, we are more than just tackles. We are more than just slam dunks and 3-pointers. We are more than just
Right.
winning races. We are entrepreneurs. We are we can do it all. And I say this to every athlete: it don't matter what is the platform, court, track, field. If you a talent, you a talent, and you gonna do you anyway. So
yep.
that's been my life, and I enjoy just dreaming big, and creating big things, and then open up opportunities for other people.
Yeah, man.
That's great.
We, yeah, it's amazing to see all the things that you've done, And one of the things I really relate to that you said is that competitiveness, right? And that you found another avenue to like outlet that, right? And it kind of talks me into what I do that's more than an athlete. And it really relates to what Dante said too, you know, when he was talking about what his why is. I think, you know, everyone's got a story. Everyone's got you know, who they are and what they stand for. And oftentimes as athletes, that's integrated into our identity, right? Our sport and who we are is all together. And so for me personally, you know, being an athlete was who I was growing up, whether it was football, basketball, baseball, you know, golf, tennis. I've done it all. And throughout my younger life, because I didn't have my father figure wasn't always around. I was pretty much raised predominantly by my mom's father, so my grandpa, and his name was Randy, and he was, you know, a coach, a father figure, a mentor, a teacher, a tutor, an everything to me. And what I found is that as much as I loved being an athlete, when that time came when athletics was no longer part of my life, when I didn't get to play anymore, it was that part of, you know, my growing up, my having that father figure who was filling a role as a coach or as a mentor that really became who I was. I figured that my purpose and my passion isn't just to be an athlete, but it's, like Dante said, to guide that next generation, to leave a legacy. And so, you know, I'm not sure. I know Ray's got a little bit of the story, but Dante, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but after I got done coaching, you know, everyone has a dream to play professionally. And I had a crazy story and ended up becoming a father at a young age. And so I stayed home, finished my athletic career, and then went back to coach at my alma mater. And out of a crazy experience, I got a chance to go to Europe in 2018, about 8 years after my college career finished, and got to play professionally a little bit of football in Europe. On the way home from Europe, I stopped in Egypt, where my other half side of my family is, and I got to reconnect with my 16-year-old brother in Egypt, who at the time was struggling a little bit. I ended up convincing my dad to send my brother to live with me in America, and I went on to teach him the game of football, to help him through high school, and he's the one who now has a full ride scholarship at Boise State University. So it's amazing because, you know, what happens to you younger in life, what your story ends up being, what you do to fulfill your legacy, right? Like I'm more than an athlete because I'm a coach, because I'm a mentor, because I'm a big brother. Dante, you're more than an athlete because you're a spokesman for your mom. You're the best damn son and older brother they could even ask for, right? Ray, you're more than an athlete because you're a competitor and actor, but you're also providing avenues for how many other athletes to fulfill their dreams in your FCF or in athlete to get paid for these things. So it's deeper than just athletics. It's deeper than just the lessons that we learn in sport. It's really about, like Dante said, giving to that next generation, leaving a legacy for others. And that's something I think we all have in common. That's something I'm super proud about. I think my grandpa in heaven's probably looking down, being proud of that as well. And something that I really, you know, love to highlight. And I think that we all kind of, you know, embody that type of mentality when we're talking about being more than an athlete as well.
1000%, man. It is, we are a fraternity. We are like the we're all connected. You know, I ran track, Dante, when I was in high school. I was a hurdler.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I went to Tennessee. That was why I went to Tennessee, because they let me run and play ball. Which then I got on the track that was just getting blazed. I was getting wore out. I was like, okay, thank you.
I'm football fast, not that fast.
Yeah, I was football fast. A little different. But it was the locker room, though. It was just the camaraderie, and I wanted that same experience that I had in high school with track. We were not, you know, state champions 2 years in a row, so. You know, you coming off of that, you like, man, I want to still run track. And it was like, no, this is big boy game. These cheaters out here. This is a little different game out here. So I went back to play football where I belong. So yeah.
Hey Dante, I got a couple questions.
Worked out for you. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, brother. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm glad everything worked out for you, and God put you exactly where you need to be, and you see
with
football.
I had a coach. His name is, I'll never forget his name, Larry Marmie. He coached for the Arizona Cardinals after he coached me at Tennessee. And I got ran over in practice. And after practice, like twice, like dude just pulled me over twice, and went to his office. And he looked me in the eye and said, "You're not going to the damn Olympics." I was like, got it. Understood.
Roger that.
Got
it.
Hey, Dante, couple questions before we let you go. Again, man, we really appreciated you spending your time here with us. I got a couple random questions and then a serious one to leave your mark here. But hey, so this is one of my questions, and it's one of those athletes. Did you play any sports other than run track growing up?
Yes, I did. And I played football for 1 year. And I really don't like talking about it because just looking back at it, I was like, man, speed kills. I mean, you literally have guys who in the lead off speed, and the difference between them and me is I actually knew how to play. Like, I can catch, I can defend. So, crazy story, I'm going to make it short. I went to this middle school called Cardozo Middle School, and, you know, of course, they see us running around in the gym, just being active. So they, you know, asked me to come out and play football. I came out 2 weeks before the first game. I caught 3 interceptions at practice. I ran 2 back, and the last one that I caught, I actually got hit by the dude that was trying to catch it as well.
Oh no!
He cut off. Oh, that's
right in the middle of the story. Right at that climax. No,
that sounded like such a good story.
Right?
Like, no.
Come back, Dante. Come back, Dante. Come back, Dante. Hey, that's what happened. He got hit so hard it disconnected his damn video.
You got hit that hard, huh?
You got hit that hard.
I guess I got hit that hard. But yeah, that third one that I caught, I got hit, so I didn't get a chance to return that. And they started me. So I played, and like I said, I can actually play. I had a couple of touchdowns on special teams. I started at free safety, and I started at punt return and kick return. And they begged me to play in high school. I started running track my 10th grade year, and I won a state championship my first year when I started running track. And I won every year since then. And the coach begged me. I swear, like every year, Dante, come out there, man. You gonna start. I just want you to play. But at the time, I had so much going with track. I didn't want to, get injured. I was thinking about all that. But I promise, and I tell anybody, I have no regrets in life. But looking back, I wish I would have just gave it a shot in high school because I could have been a two-way sport, man, And like I said, man, speed kills, and I can actually catch. I got nice height, man. But like I said, everything happened for a reason. I feel like God, put me exactly where he wanted me to be. But if I could go back and play, I would definitely play.
Hey, that's a lesson. All you high school athletes out there, take advantage of your 4 years in high school. Do as much as you can. Yeah. Be a versatile multi-sport athlete. You don't need to specialize. And like Dante said, hey, Deshaun Jackson's in the league, brother. He's like 30. He's my age, right? And because he's still fast. I heard a stat that Deshaun Jackson had the fastest time clocked in the league this year, which means at 36 years old, he's still faster than half those dudes out there, which is crazy to me.
Justin Gatlin at Tennessee. He played ball too. Yeah, remember?
Yep. Yeah. Hey, what number would you have worn?
Almost 40 years old, still running 9. Huh?
Come on now, right?
What number? Sir. What number would you have rocked if you got to wear a number? Because I know track, you don't wear numbers.
Oh, I'll probably say
That's a tough
8.
question.
I wore 8 in middle school. Yeah, I'll say 8 though.
Okay, I like it. All right, man. And then, hey, the last thing I want to ask you is, if you had to give advice to an up and coming athlete in the next generation, from Dante Brown, motivational speaker, future successful, whatever he does, what would you tell the next generation that's coming up after you?
What I tell the next generation is always be yourself. No matter who you're around or no matter whatever you see other people do, just remain you. You don't have to never be something that you're not. And that's one thing that I love about me. I'm real, I'm genuine, and I'm gonna always be me. And another thing I will say is keep your social media clean. You have a lot of athletes who sometimes mess themselves up based off what they post, man. And I can't remember the guy's name, but he got drafted football to the Miami Dolphins, and he had a fallout with his stepfather or his father, and that's when he uploaded the picture of him, the video on Twitter that went viral, him smoking in a bomb, and stuff like that. So that's another thing, man. Just keep your page clean. If you know you're doing something that you don't need to do, just be mindful of that. And
Man,
that's
that
one
is
thing that I always do because
amazing.
I have so many sponsors and people looking up to me. So I just try to keep my page as clean as possible. And the last thing, if you have a dream, go after it, man. Regardless of what you're going through, it always get better as long as you try. It's easy to accept defeat, but if you really want something, no matter what, if you want to be in the SEC and you're not there yet, just use that as your motivation. Never give up on your dream. Never let no one tell you can't do this. Never let no one say that you're not good enough, because everyone has their own opinions. And only thing that should matter is how you feel and what you think about yourself. Everyone not going to like you. Everyone not going to support you, but don't let that get in the way of you being great, because greatness is within you, and support yourself. Just you just have to go through adversity. The road is going to get tough, man. There was times where I thought it was over with for me, especially, with me transferring and, not having the credit hours, but I just remain positive. I just pray, so just stay focused. And if it's something out there that you want to achieve, just achieve it. And you have to have a why. Make sure that you know your why and keep that instilled in your head.
Man, I tell you what, boy. Tell you something. You come work for me one day.
Hey, I love to.
I feel
This is the network right here. Listen, this is what we talk about. Talk about network is like when you do these things. I do podcasts, I do meetings, and I just meet people, because then you end up running into somebody like Dante out of the blue, and you're like, man, and they stick to you. And so when things come up, you like young kids. He couldn't have been any better of saying, I'm telling you this, every company looks at all your social medias. And even if you think that, I'll erase it about my senior year or whatever, they will go back. They have companies that go do that because they want to know who they hiring. So everything you said was on point, Dante.
Thank you.
Yep. And whoever our next guest is got some big shoes to fill. That's
Man.
for sure. Man, hey, but yeah, just like Ray was saying, everything you said was spot on, man. Especially in this generation, chasing those likes, chasing those impressions, and sacrificing who you are is not the route you need to go. And as an NIL company, right, that's looking to get, brands are looking to connect with these athletes. They want people who are going to represent them in a good light. I mean, look at this advertisement with Dante on it. That's I ain't lying, and I'm not saying this just because you're on here. That's the best ad I've seen from our company, man. And and we're super excited to have you as a part of a platform. We know you're going to do great things. Like Ray say, if he doesn't hire you, you're going to get hired by somebody, man, and be extremely successful. Hopefully, that's after your Olympic dream gets fulfilled, man. We can't wait to cheer you on this year. I know track season's coming up at Grambling, so we'll definitely be in the loop and be posting all your stuff. We just want to thank you again, man, for your time, for your energy, for everything that you do, for leaving that legacy to the next generation and doing it the right way, man. You're definitely a role model, brother.
And congratulations to you, man. Your mother should be very proud, bro. You've definitely got your head on straight. So congratulations, man. Got a big bright future. Bright future.
Appreciate
Except
you,
your
Dante.
phone just keeps your phone keeps going on.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you upgraded internet, bro. Get them on a hotspot or something.
Oh, I love that, man. I love that good young energy, man. Guys doing it right, man. That's awesome. I love it.
Cool.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, Dante, you got anything to say before you head out?
I just want to say that. I just want to say I really appreciate you guys, and I love everything that you guys doing, both of you guys. And man, I'm really speechless. I really can't get my thoughts together right now. I'm so excited. But thanks for having me on the show. I'm glad to be a part of history, and I support both of you guys, and I love everything that you're doing for the up and coming generation. And just thanks for having me. And I wish you guys nothing but success, moving forward, and hopefully, we can do this again and partner up later on.
Absolutely, 100%, bro. Good
Most
job,
definitely,
Dante.
brother. Love you, brother. Take it easy, man.
I love y'all too. Thank you.
Peace, man.
That's dope, man. I love when I have my other shows and you get those type of interviews. We couldn't have done a better. And like it's gonna be tough. Say, number 2 and 3 got a lot, man.
That's what
Ooh,
I'm trying to say, man.
ooh.
This man's coming for my job. Damn.
Whoa, man, bro. But that's he said some really, I mean, some things that we forgot to say, but which was great for him to say it. Is focus on your social media, like focus on your brand, like be yourself, be exactly who you are. Don't try to fake all. Be one of these influencers that ain't for real. Just be you. That's gonna pay
That's
off way more down the road, for real,
100%,
for
100%.
real.
And then you don't have to fake it.
For real, exactly.
Man,
Well, man, maybe it's just our internet, but or their internet. So, um, we're not done yet. But I want to say this. Listening to Dante and the type of guy that he is, and what the type of things that he's been through, from going from an NAI school to a D1 school, then to a HBCU school. He's seen so many different experiences that will literally excel him into the next his next career, whether it's running track or anything he's doing. So, shouts out to you, brother. You're doing a great job. Um, I know we're close to closing up shop anyway, but I just wanted to thank everybody for being a part of our first podcast. Hey, it's a little bumpy. It's all good. Things happen, but just want everybody to remember why you come here for Athlete and Athlete Plus. We are here to create an awesome culture for all athletes, so they can feel welcomed here. We want you to show off. We want to see your highlights. We want to see all the great things you're doing. Just tell them a little bit about Athlete and also the opportunities, man. We literally had 3 national target opportunities that came out this week. So if you're not on the platform, you got to get on the platform, and it is easy. The steps are 1, 2, 3. You literally pushing a couple of buttons, and you're gonna get paid for what your engagement on your platform. So it pays to be an athlete. We say that all the time in the office. So it absolutely pays to be an athlete. And as we do that, we're gonna offer up education. It's not just gonna be here and just, hey, we're gonna be here and here is some money. We're gonna show you what to do with it and how to manage it and all those things that you need moving forward in your career. And last, like I always say, is the network. And I wasn't playing when I told Dante I would hire him. I absolutely would hire somebody like that. We do it all the time. So we are creating a network of sports entrepreneurs, sports entertainers, sports podcasters, and you name it. If you want to come here and you want to be an athlete and grow this network with us, man, we accept you with open arms.
Yeah, man. Can you hear me, Ray? We
Yeah,
good? We good to go?
yeah, man.
Okay, making sure. My
Yeah,
wife called. I had to tell her, man. Hey, we're on groundbreaking first
man.
ever launch of the podcast.
It
You
happens. It
cannot be
happens to me.
calling me.
It happens to me too, man. It happens. It's understandable.
Yeah.
All
Hey, more
good.
than an athlete, got to be a husband as well. So
You
hey,
gotta
that
be
happens,
that's
right?
first.
um, yeah, man. I couldn't have asked for a better first podcast. Dante was great, and yeah, I know you've touched on a little bit of that with what we do at Athlete. Yeah, encourage everyone to reach out when they hear this. We have some of the best opportunities available in the market. You're going to deal with great people on the team, whether it's Kat, Kayla, Hannah, myself, Sailor, Catherine, Zach, all of the people that are behind the scenes making things work back here at Athlete. We really care about the athletes that are on our
Yeah.
platform. We want to boost them up, right? From the top down, that heart for the athlete is there. We love working with you. We help with boosting your brand and business. We just really care. And
Yeah.
that culture opportunity information network isn't just something we say, man. It's something we stand on. So,
100.
for the very first episode, I think it went as well as could be. We'd love to thank and invite everyone back. Keep listening on wherever you're listening to this podcast. Follow us on social media at athlete.co on Instagram. Myself at cb.athlete, Ray Austin at Ray Austin 36. You can connect to us directly. We love to, like I said, shout you guys out, get you guys involved, and help boost your engagement and build your brand. So for myself, Coach Cory, for Ray, thank you for being here today. And that's it for the first ever Athlete Plus podcast.
Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.